than time-restricted feeding. One of the more hot-button issues out there is whether or not, given equal amounts of caloric intake and equal amounts of activity and equal amounts of nutrients, etc., whether or not restricting food to a particular window biases more weight loss toward fat loss versus loss of other tissues. Because, of course, when we lose weight, we can lose that from any number of different storage sites within the body: muscle, water, glycogen, or fat. This is covered in the review that I mentioned earlier that describes how if people follow a time-restricted feeding schedule for long periods of time, so 60 days or longer, there's some metabolic changes in the way that people metabolize energy that do seem to shift the system toward more fat loss relative to burning of other tissues when in a state of caloric restriction. In states of caloric restriction, meaning sub-maintenance intake, time-restricted feeding does seem to bias more of the energy burn to compensate for that deficit from fat. This logically points to a case in which using time-restricted feeding with a subcaloric intake seems to be, at least to my mind, the most scientifically supported way to ensure that a significant portion of the weight that one loses is from body fat stores.